Shalom.
Shalom.
This is Voice of a Watchman here in Jacksonville, Florida. We do thank and praise the Most High, Ahayah, bahashem, Yashayah, Barak. And just for those who may not understand the true name of the Most High, or the one you call God, is Ahayah. The name of his son, who you ignorantly have been taught to refer to as Jesus the Christ, is Yashayah, and the Holy Spirit's name is Barak, the Holy Mother.
That's right.
We've received another really good information-packed book.
Hebrews to Negroes.
Volume
2.
Part 2, Volume 1.
Yeah, you really need to get this book.
And like we have the other Hebrews to Negroes, and there's another volume of this book as well. That's a 3-volume set. The Bible says, study to show yourself approved unto the Most High.
That's right.
That don't mean follow someone's vain opinion of what they believe.
Philosophy.
That means get books and read. Read behind everything you're told to.
I believe as this world is growing darker and darker, especially in Christianity, you're going to hear more philosophy. You're going to hear more cliches than you've ever heard before. So,
I want to go get my Bible.
Go ahead, Josh. You can use mine, Josh. I've got it right here. Yeah, we're in a time where it's sad to say this, but I have to say it like this, Tony. Almost anything goes in Christianity. Whatever you hear in the church, you're going to run with it. Women are bishops. You're running with that right now. You believe in that. You're believing in philosophy and the sleep of men instead of the word. The word says a bishop is a man. He's the husband of one wife. The bishop is not a woman. Paul even goes on to say women keep silent in the church. You are not permitted to speak in the church. Not today, though. See, that's why when Rome gave the disciples, not Christians, Rome gave that word Christian to the disciples. Not to their face, they called them Christians. But disciples never accepted that name. They never accepted that name. They went along with it because they thought that maybe at the time it was something that they were calling them, and they didn't have any problem with it. But it wasn't what they were. It was a derogatory name pointed at them. So when it was time for them to be killed, to be martyred, they could find them easily. Read your Bible. Nowhere in the scripture did they ever accept that name. Now we're in our ministry, and all the ones we're teaching truth today are in pre-Constantine, before Constantine. Christian church today is in post-Constantine. You believe in all the lying doctrines of Rome that are in your Christian church. So now we have millions of Christians putting different names on themselves. Baptist, Pentecostal, I don't know how many. I can't begin to name Free Church, Free Will Church, this church, East Coast Church. What a mess. What a shame. If you believe in the virgin birth, and if you believe that Christ rose on Sunday, and if you believe that he died on a pagan cross, you are a pagan. There's no getting around it. You can't get around that. If you're worshiping holidays in this country, you are a pagan. I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care what name guys you're under. Rome, the Pope of Rome, owns your church, and he owns every church in America and the world.
Behind the scenes.
Right, behind the scenes, he owns it all. And our motto is prove all things. Was that second?
That's 1 Thessalonians.
1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things. Everything we say in this ministry, we can prove. Everything. So you have to really consider where you're sitting on Sunday. Sounds real holy, doesn't it, Christianity? It does, but it's not. It's not. We were drawn away 5 years ago. We didn't leave the Most High. So, man, he didn't understand this. I spoke to him in Golden Corral on Normandy, and he said, wow, you left Christianity? I said, yeah, we left post-Christianity, right. Now we're in Paul's day. See, now we're having the teachings and the learnings of the apostles Peter, John, Timothy, all of them, Paul, and Yashayah, Christ. Why? Because they kept the law. They kept the Sabbath, right, Josh? They kept the holy days. They kept the feast days. You understand? You better consider where you're sitting on Sunday. Josh, can we go to a few? You want to just tell me where they are. I just want to tell our folks where these scriptures are. Righteousness means the law. So Hebrews says, if the righteous scarcely make it in, where are you going to stand? Where's the sinner going to appear? That's my metallics. Where are you going to stand? How are you going to stand on that day? You're not going to be able to. Because 1 John 3:14 says, for sin is the transgression of the law. So if you're breaking the law and you're not keeping the statutes, you're sinning. You're going into that pagan church and worshiping this white God, this white Jesus. You can get mad. You can turn us off. It doesn't matter. We've got over 45,000 viewers that are believing the truth and are coming out of Christianity. And I'm happy for them. And I'm even more happy when I meet people who don't even go to church because they don't know how blessed they are. Because that's how poisoned you can be sitting in there listening to false doctrine. Go ahead, Josh. My son's got something good tonight.
You got anything else to add?
No, I just wanted to get that out there.
Thinking about something now.
See, you can play with people. You can't play with the Most High. Righteousness is of the law. And we'll give you the scriptures later. Righteousness is of the law. You can go around saying, I'm righteous. But, Christians say that, they don't know what that means. Righteousness comes from keeping the law.
It comes from Christ.
That's right, from Christ.
And you exhibit that you are righteous by keeping the law that he gave.
That's it. There it is. There it is.
Doing what we do, exposing and revealing these secrets that people aren't fully aware of because, and as we're going to read in, let's go to the Bible.
Let's go to the Word.
I want to start in the Old Testament and link it together.
Okay.
We'll read a couple scriptures, then we'll read. I want to bring out some information in this.
We're not going to be long tonight.
Then we're going to finish with some other scriptures.
We're going to be long enough to prove to you.
Link it together.
Right, and show you that if you don't use precepts through this Bible and take one scripture and run with it, that's not the way.
It was meant to understand.
Never meant to understand. What, Tony?
Let's go to Genesis 25.
Wait, what did he say? What, Tony?
Go to Genesis 25.
The way it was meant to be understood.
Right. Genesis where, Josh?
25.
All right, let's go to Genesis 25. All right. Well, we thank you for viewing in tonight. We don't want to be long. We're planning on this year this whole year now to go every night or every other night about 40, 45 minutes because
5 years to tomorrow.
yeah, 5 years tomorrow. And we're really blessed because I know I was in Christianity for 29 years. In and out the door, 30 minutes. Our
Most
ministry,
of the time.
yeah, goes an hour and sometimes an hour and a half. So we're trying to break that down a little so you can hear the whole message instead of hearing something that really turns you off because you were brainwashed into Christianity. So you can't sit there, so you turn it off right away. Oh, that's not true. That's not what my pastor says. That's what a lot of people are doing, but most people are not.
Regardless of what the Bible actually says.
That's right. 25 where? Genesis 25.
25, 21.
25, 21.
Genesis 25 and 21. Read.
Okay, hold on. Okay, and Isaac entreated the Most High for his wife because she was barren, and the Most High was entreated of him. In other words, he heard. All right, he listened. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? Why is this going on with me?
So, read.
And she went to inquire of the Most High, and the Most High said unto her.
Now listen to what the Most High said to the mother of Israel.
This is why all the troubles in the world today.
Read.
Listen. 2 nations are in thy womb.
To what?
2 nations.
To what?
Nations.
2 races or different kinds of people.
Come on.
And different colors of people. Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be.
2 what?
2 manner.
To what?
2 manner.
2 different.
Come
read.
on. Of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So the one people shall be stronger than the other because they will receive the blessing of the Most High and rule. Read.
Okay. And the elder shall serve the younger. And when
so the elder shall serve the younger, meaning in the end, because the elder will take the world over for a time, right, like he is right now. That elder child will have the dominion.
Come on.
At the end time, but when the Messiah comes back and judges the earth, he will have a short time. His time is up.
That's right.
So
the day of the Gentiles is coming to a close. And the elder shall serve the younger.
So the elder will be the servant of the younger. The elder shall be the servant of the younger in the kingdom age that is coming.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled,
read.
Behold, there was twins in her womb.
So there were 2 different races of children with 2 different colors of skin.
Come on. And the first came out red.
The first came out what?
Red.
What?
Red.
What?
Red.
Read.
All over like a hairy garment.
So, in other words, when Esau came out of his mother's womb, he had no melanin in his skin. He was a white man.
Come on.
Or what people would call albino, but he was white. He was the only. He was that was the first time in biblical or recorded history that a black woman gave birth to a white man.
That's right. And after that came his brother out.
Now, start the verse.
Watch that. Listen to this now.
Now,
explain it, John. And after that.
So after Esau
came his brother out.
Jacob, read.
And his hand took hold of Esau's heel.
So what is the prophetic? What is the prophetic symbolism there? Hold that. Go to 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 8. So 2nd Ezra 6:8. What is the symbol? Now this is why you need the Apocrypha. If you are just listening to us and you have a smartphone or a device, a phone, download a 1611 King James Bible on your smartphone.
Hold on.
Or if you have a King James Bible,
Let me show him.
Try and get a 1611 KJV
Yeah.
Apocrypha.
What does that say? The Christian Catholic Church took this out so you wouldn't find out about the white Christ that's a phony. You see that? See the Apocrypha? That's in the King James Bible, in the middle of the original 1611.
Uh-huh.
So don't tell me we're in error. You need the Apocrypha. If you want to know truth in these last days, you need to stop listening to these pastors, because these pastors are paid off not to tell you not to get this book. They even tell in their church not to listen to people on YouTube, because we have the truth.
Uh-huh.
All right. Where, Josh?
2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 8.
All right, verse 8. Ready?
Verse 7.
Oh, 7? Okay.
Yeah, verse 7.
All right, ready? Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
So when will the children of Israel finally have their time to rule? Read.
What shall be the parting asunder of times, or when shall...
So, for your information, the children of Israel are the so-called Hispanics, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, and the Aboriginal people. That
all the ones who are struggling now are going to be free if they keep the law, they keep the Sabbath, and they find out who they are in time.
read.
Okay. Or when shall be the end of the first?
So when will the younger brother, the elder brother, time of rulership end, and Jacob's rulership or Israel's rulership come back?
And the beginning of it that followeth.
Read.
And he said
Uh-huh.
unto me,
Uh-huh.
from Abraham unto Isaac,
Uh-huh.
when Jacob and Esau were born of him,
Uh-huh.
you just read this in Genesis, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
He did what?
He held...
Now we're gonna get the
answer.
symbol, the prophetic symbolism or the prophetic interpretation of what that means.
Come on.
Read.
Esau, wait, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world.
In other words, the children of Esau will be running the earth.
Come on, Josh.
At the end of the world before Christ comes back.
That's right.
Who is running the earth? The
Edomites.
America, who is Esau.
That's right.
The so-called
Russia.
Jewish people, which is Esau.
That's right.
The elite, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergers, the Council of 12,
Rome,
the Roman Catholic, the Pope.
That's right.
Which is an Edomite. Read.
And Jacob is the beginning of it.
So Jacob is the beginning of the next kingdom under Christ. Go back to Genesis.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Genesis, I forgot. Where is it?
25.
Oh, 25.
26.
26, where, Josh? Where are we?
25, 26.
Oh, 25, 26? Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, ready? 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's.
So we explained what that prophetic picture was. That is the picture of the next rulership. Esau is ruling right now, and Christ is going to return. Now Christ is coming to restore the so-called black man and the Hispanic man's rulership of the earth to them. And he will be their God, and they will rule under Christ in the kingdom.
I use the word Gentile because Esau they are Gentiles. All right, but Josh is right. Esau is the Edomite nations that are ruling and destroying the world.
Let's go to Genesis.
They're Jews.
Genesis 36.
They're not the bloodline of Israel. What, Josh?
Genesis 36.
Genesis 36. 10 more chapters over. Okay.
Verse 1, then skip down to verse 8.
All right, Genesis.
Or 9, I think.
Chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau.
Of who?
Esau.
Of Esau. Read.
Who is Edom.
Who is who?
Edom.
Who is... So, now skip down to verse 9.
All right, 9. Ready? 9.
9.
And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites.
The father of the who?
Of the Edomites.
So he fathered Esau became the father of the white race, and in particular, the father of the elite, the kings and the rulers of the earth. Your Rothschilds. Research the Illuminati. Research these. Go on YouTube and just
do the research
and just watch some quick documentaries, and you'll learn the backstory of what you're not really taught in school. You're the Rothschilds, you got the Bilderbergers, you got the DuPonts, the Kennedy. You got research the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati, and you'll find out there's 13 elite Edomite families who do not mix marriages. They incest to keep
Tony, turn that
Satan's bloodline pure between
Please,
them.
Tony. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
So
say that again.
What they do is they don't intermarry to keep the bloodline clean. So they marry within the families.
Right, wow.
To keep the bloodline
pure.
They
do. Yeah, they do.
Research it. Incest amongst the elite, and you'll find out that the elite commit incest to keep their bloodline. And when I say the elite, the 1% that runs the earth.
Thank you, Tony. Wow, that's awesome, Joshua.
Read.
All right, we're okay. Esau. Okay. 9, right? And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir.
And Mount what?
Seir.
In Mount Seir or Mount Hermon.
Right.
Mount Seir, if you and I want to just show. We're going to read about the dukes. Now, when you read in Genesis 36 about the dukes that came from the children of Esau, the dukes represent your Rothschild families, your Dukes of Kent, your Dukes of Wellington, your Dukes of England, your queens, your chancellors of Germany, your prime ministers. All those Duke lines produced your president lines.
That's right.
If all your presidents trace their bloodline back to Esau.
Wow.
Because they don't mix with the Goyim. They keep their satanic bloodline clean.
Wow. And that's amazing you said that, Jack. Just like the Most High kept the true bloodline, right, of Yashayah, the Holy Spirit, right?
Read.
Okay. Esau's son, Eliphaz, the son of Adah, and wife of Esau. And Beruel, the son of...
So now Mount Seir is the mountain of Satan.
Wow.
So if you read in Genesis 6, and we're not going to read that, but and if you research, you'll find out that if you get the book of Enoch, let me say something right fast, Dad.
Okay, this is really good. This is good tonight. I hope you're being blessed. You know, there's a bloodline of the holy, true bloodline of the Hebrew Israelites. Don't get that mixed up with the
Jewish people.
Jewish people in Israel. They are not the bloodline.
Say that again.
Don't send money there. You're sending money to Satan. That's what you're doing. Don't send money there. I have compassion. I know they're suffering there. The Palestinians, they know they're not the bloodline. They're not stupid. They know they're not the bloodline. That's why they're being murdered. That's why they're being bombed. What other reason would it be? If you got another reason, email us. We'd like to know. We don't know it all. But from what we researched, they are the Khazarian mountain people. They're called the serpent people. They came there in the 7th, 8th century. And the government of the United States made a big hoax and lie and blasphemy about making Israel a nation, telling people all over the world, you can go back to your homeland. That's not their homeland. Those people that are being killed over there, those people that are killing them know it. They know it. That's why it's important for you to do research.
So
I'm not one to say much of that because I had no education. But since my son came into this understanding, we have really done some research together, and Josh has done most of it on his own. But I'll tell you,
the book of,
it's there.
if you get the book of Enoch, you'll find out that
where is it?
I couldn't find it.
Oh, it's here, right? I didn't give it away.
If you get the book of Enoch, you'll find out that the fallen angels of Genesis 6, or the fathers of the Nephilim, or the giants, descended on Mount Hermon. Now, if you look at the paramount. Oh,
it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Book of Enoch.
See, you need all these books. Some night, listen, folks, who's ever listening tonight, we're going to get all the books out again. We're going to show you what research we've done. We've done a lot, and that's why we came into this truth. And this is why
Enoch verse.
Yeah, listen.
Chapter 6 and verse 6.
This is a great book.
And they were all 200 that descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon because they got sworn and bound themselves upon mutual impurification upon it. So they made a satanic, a sinful oath between themselves to sleep with the children, the daughters of men. Read.
Okay. Esau, okay. And the son of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zippo, and Gaten, and Kenaz. And Timah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. And she bare two, Eliphaz, Amalek. Wow.
So Amalek.
Come on, Josh.
Amalek is the father of the Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
The Ashkenazi Jewish people come from the seed of Amalek.
That's the Amaleks.
That's the Amalekites, according to the Bible.
These were the sons of, stop there.
Read.
These were the sons of Adah,
Hold
Esau's
on.
wife.
This is Hebrews to Negroes part. Hold that. Part 1.
Put it closer so you can see it.
And I want to read something right fast out of it.
Take your time. So we're going to try to cut the time down a little so you can stay a whole time while we're, bringing truth to you. So you don't get, too tired, or, if it's a time when you're working, we understand that. And you need time to listen to a whole program, listen to us late at night, early in the morning. I'm up like 5 o'clock in the morning praying. So the best time to listen is before you go to work. I have a little flip out phone. I don't believe in technology. And, a lot of you have those big phones today with all the internet in it. You can do that at lunch. You can listen to us. If you don't catch a whole program with us at night, Friday night, right, Tony? We're live when it gets dark. And it was too confusing with this time of the year. So we're going on at night, Friday and Saturday night, all right, when it gets dark. So we'll be on live. But as soon as it gets later, like, in the spring, right, Tony, when it doesn't get dark till 7:30, we'll let you know. Then we go on when it gets dark. And Saturday night, we'll do the same thing. Okay? I know the Sabbath ends when it gets dark Saturday night, but since we're a ministry program on YouTube, we can bring more and more information and input to you. Okay, this is amazing because, through the annals of time and the centuries that are passed, Tony, it's amazing how we can catch up with this history. Because if you follow any kind of American history, you're going to be duped. You are never going to know the truth about this Bible, about your own country. I don't want to get into that. That's another whole sermon. That's another whole lesson in what this government has done to the people here. And a lot of you know that. A lot of you know it already. But most don't. Most are deceived in America. Do you know that you don't own any land? I don't care how you boast. You got 50 acres, 100 acres. You don't own it because it was stolen. You bought stolen property. That's just what you did. That's research. Research it. Who was here in the 6th century? The American Indian. Who were they? The tribe of Gad from Israel. It's in the Apocrypha. The Most High stayed the waves, and they crossed over into another land, a land where no man had ever dwelt. That land is called Asterit, hidden place. Okay? So here come this homo Christians from Rome, Edomites, named it, what was his name? They called it America, Tony? Enrico Pafucci. Enrico. So they named it, they believe they named it after him. All right, so they did. But that wasn't the real name. The real name of this land that you're living in today is called Asterit. Asterit, the hidden place. Was it really hidden when they came here? No. Rome and all those nations across the sea knew about this place. And they had it all set up. They knew who was here. They knew the tribe of Gad was here. They knew all the Indies. They knew where all the Israelite tribes were scattered. And they murdered all of them.
So they lied to us about our history.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big time. I take your history book and put a match to it. And you know, I got to say this, you know, I see these black movies now. The white Jews own the movie industry. So they promote the real Israelites to expose themselves, to exploit them on these filthy movies. Yeah, they get paid for being actors and stuff, but the Jews get billions and billions. And in the meantime, they exploit the Most High's true people for money.
Now listen to this. This is in Hebrews to Negroes, part 1. This is on page 375.
Let me read, Josh.
The highest United Nation base is built on the summit of Mount Hermon in Syria, Lebanon,
No,
Israel
it
border.
can't be. No, it's the United Nations in New York. Read it again.
The highest United Nations
Listen to where they're.
base
Listen.
is built on the Mount of St. Hermon.
Why is it on
Mount
Mount
Hermon.
Why is it?
Syria, Lebanon, are they waiting for someone? The fallen angels, watchers. Of course, we know that.
So they're actually, the American government is actually communicating with demons, with fallen angels. I hope you didn't believe that lying movie in 15 about Noah, about the giants being friendly and helping him build a boat. That's a lie. They were evil. They ate people. They were giants. The Most High had to destroy the world before it. You know, when I was a Christian, I used to believe what they believed. Men of renown. They were regular men that had sex with the men's daughters. No, they came down. The word says, right? They came down, right? And they saw that the children were fair, and the daughters were fair, and they took them. And after they had sex with them, their babies became giants.
So,
and those evil spirits are here today. All your wars, all the trouble in the world is from those giants, and those spirits are here.
right.
Go ahead, Josh.
So, we're going to read. Go to the book of Revelations 2, verse 9.
2:9, 20, Revelation. Revelation 2:9. Now we're going to show you. Do I have compassion on anybody who's being killed? Of course we do. But not compassion in the wrong way when I know those people who, they know who they're killing.
again,
That's a different story. That they're not the bloodline. They're not the chosen people like they claim to be. And guess what? We found out through another program on YouTube that rabbis, right, Tony, recall through the world are starting to admit it, that they're not the bloodline. How about that one?
They know they're not.
But they're starting to admit it. That's a good thing. Go ahead, Josh.
You get
Put them
these
close. Put them
books.
close. Put them close. Get these books. You need to have these books. Okay, Revelation 2:9. Get ready for you know to expose these people, Josh. We're going to do some exposing. You know what Brother Paul said? Paul's love. He's a Christian. No, Paul exposed. Paul exposed every chance he had, right, Josh?
Revelations 2:9.
Now listen. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Come on, you got to explain that.
So the children of Israel are rich because they were given the word of the Most High.
Come on.
Go to Psalms 147, 19 and 20.
Psalms 147,
There's a precept
19 and 20.
To that first part of Revelation 9. Revelation 2:9. Revelation 2:9 goes with Psalms 147.
I think you said 120.
Yeah, 140. Psalms 147, verse 19 goes with Revelation 7. Revelation 2:9 goes with Psalms 147, 19.
Listen to this.
The beginning of that verse.
Okay. Ready?
Psalms 147, 19. Read.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
He showeth his word unto everybody.
Jacob.
Unto who?
Jacob.
Unto Esau.
Jacob.
Ishmael.
Jacob.
Read.
Christianity. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Read.
He hath not dealt so with
He hath dealt so.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Uh-huh.
And as for his judgments,
and as for his laws and his judgments, read,
they have not known them.
So that is why their system of justice is backward and oppressive, because they don't know the true God of Israel.
That's right. Okay, so what do you
go back to Revelation?
Okay, ready?
Now start that over.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
So you so-called blacks and Hispanics, you are rich according to the scriptures because the Most High gave your ancestors, the children of Israel, the Bible.
And I know the blasphemy, the lies of them which say they are Jews.
Which they say what?
They are Jews.
They are what?
Jews. And the J was never in this until the 17th century. And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the synagogue of who?
Satan.
So now I want to show you something here. If you look, Tony, turn on that light behind Dad.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tony. Yeah. I'm sorry,
It don't look right. It looks like you're in dark and light.
Sorry, Tony. Didn't mean to bother you, brother. Thanks, Tony.
If you look,
it's getting darker. That's why, Tony. It's okay now.
Right on the top of this page, you'll see a whole bunch of hexagrams or pentagrams. And you'll see the Baphomet there too, right? The Baphomet.
Okay.
The synagogue of Satan has its own symbol, the six-pointed star.
And you better get this out of your spirit about the Star of David that I see some of you Christians wearing. That's a devil sign, man.
Above.
That's not the Star of David.
Now listen to this.
That's right.
Above,
ahead,
the hexagram is not a symbol of the Israelites, the God of the Israelites, or the symbol of King David. It is used in many. Read this.
One more water. Tony, get you more water?
Yeah.
Tony, can you get Josh more water? Thanks. Yeah. What do you want me to read, Josh?
Start over.
All right, ready?
Above.
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 above. Okay. The hexagram is not the symbol of the Israelites. The power of Israel, just one, yeah. Israelites or the symbol of King David.
So this is not the Star of David, but read what it actually is.
It is used by many pagan religions.
It is used by what?
Many pagan
or occult or Satanists.
Pagan religions, including Luciferianism, Satanism. It is satanic. The star of Shemi, Hebrew, the star of Rephaim, Greek, and the star of Saturn.
The star of who?
Saturn.
Saturn is another word for Satan.
It's not a planet. That's right.
So the hexagrams, and let me show you again, just to make sure we know what we're talking about. When you see people wearing these symbols, these all six-pointed stars, these stars right here, these stars.
Thanks, thank you, bro.
Those stars right there, that's a symbol of the devil.
All right. So you see, when you see a Christian wearing that, tell them that's Satan. That's not King David's star. There's no King David star. He never wore that.
Read that, Acts, and this is write this precept down for the six-pointed star.
Where we going? Where's
Acts?
At Acts 7:43. I didn't finish the rest of you. Okay. Acts 7:43. Yea, he took up the tabernacle of Moloch.
So Moloch is another code name for Satan.
Come on. And the star of your God, Rephaim.
Rephaim, or the six-point star.
Figures which ye made to worship them. And I will carry you away beyond Babylon.
So the pentagrams these symbols, or these star symbols, were used to worship.
Don't tear the book apart, just got it.
This.
Hold this still.
The Baphomet.
See that Baphomet?
Right there, Satan. All these symbols are used to summon this, the Baphomet or Satan.
Okay.
Keep reading. Now watch what these Jewish people say about who they really serve.
It is
at the top.
It is a known fact that Ashkenazi Jew, Harold
Ashkenazi,
whatever
that is.
Jew, Harold Wallace Rosenthal was an administrative assistant to U.S. Senator Jacob Javits. In Mr. Rosenthal's 1976 interview, he stated, "Most Jews do not like to admit it, but our God is Lucifer."
Our God is who?
Lucifer.
No.
And you'll be nice to these Jews out there. And they serve Lucifer. Go ahead. We are.
Read that again. Who is the Jewish religion's God of Judaism?
Most Jews do not like to admit it, but our God is Lucifer. And we are his chosen people.
So when they say they're the chosen people of God,
you know, say
that God they're referring to is Lucifer or Satan. Read.
Lucifer is very much alive. He would also quote, read, anytime truth comes forth, which exposes us, we simply rally our forces, the ignorant Christians.
The what?
The ignorant Christians.
So they use your Christian churches to cover their evil.
That's right. They attack the Crusaders, even if they are members of their own families.
So they're using their churches to turn families against each other to protect their evil.
Wow.
Read.
It is a reality.
It is a what?
Reality.
It is a fallacy.
It is a reality.
So now, remember, this was quoted by a Jew, a Jewish person. So he
listen close.
He knows he's not making this stuff up. This is not sci-fi.
That's right.
This is what actually is real. Read.
It is a reality that we have complete control of organized Christianity.
Of what?
Organized Christianity.
So who runs the Christian church behind this wall, behind the scenes? What you don't see?
Almost.
The Ashkenazi Satan worshiping Jewish elite.
Almost anywhere, completely. We Jews must become lawyers so we could control and strangle the courts. We should become teachers and leaders in all the churches. Wow.
Read.
We should be, wow. At first, by controlling the
That's
banking,
heavy.
That is.
That's deep, ain't it?
Yeah.
Keep reading.
At first, by controlling the banking system.
The what?
The banking system.
The what?
The banking system.
Or jewelry or
Everything.
Or usury.
Mhm.
So what they do with that is they make fake money that's not worth anything, and they charge you interest to pay them back for the worthless money they give you.
That's the credit card.
That's demonic. That's evil.
Come on.
No, I'm not saying don't pay your taxes because you'll go to prison, but I'm saying the system is wicked.
Now you know why there's no, what's that word, Josh?
Like the Bible says, render unto Caesar.
But no, that's different taxes. Listen.
Yeah, that's
But
different.
the credit card, listen, folks out there, don't feel guilty if you get in trouble with your credit cards. You don't have to pay them. There's no what on that? There's no, what do you call that? Mary, what's that word? Tony, what's that word where? In other words, they can't take you to court and make you pay it.
Penalty.
That's evil too. In other words, if you get in trouble with a credit card, you don't have to pay it. They'll call you and they'll bother you, but you don't have to pay it. Because they know all that money they got away by stealing from you.
Read that again.
At first, by controlling the banking system, we are able to control corporation capital.
So we control all your corporations, your car corporation, your food corporation, your stores.
Come on.
We feed you whatever we want to feed you, and then we eat the good food. That isn't. We poison all your food.
That's right.
Because you're goyim and you're not worthy to live according to the Talmud.
That's right.
And for all the research and read the Talmud.
That's what the Jews think about.
The Babylonian Talmud teaches that the Gentile or the goyim is unworthy to live.
Through this, we acquired total monopoly of the movie industry.
Of the what?
Movie
so
industry.
We can portray the true children of Israel in a negative light.
White people.
And make them, and these people aren't even people. These are the seed of the Nephilim.
Wow.
These are, because like I said, these elite Jewish people, the rulers of this earth don't mix with people. Because to keep their bloodline to Satan pure, they intermarry.
A lot of them have two, some of them have 3 hearts.
Wow.
Yeah. The radio networks and the newly developing television media, the printing industry, newspapers, periodicals, what's that?
Periodicals?
Yeah. And technical journals had already fallen into our hands. The richest plum was later to come when we took over the publication of all school materials.
So you're reading Jewish people's version of history in your schools.
Now, you know why they allow mommy to have a mommy? That's all from them. That's to destroy and corrupt your children. Through these vehicles, we could mold public opinion to suit our own purposes. Man, that's sick. You got to know this stuff, folks. You got to know this. I know after I came into understanding, I can't live, Tony, anymore in this world and not knowing the truth. I want to know as much as I can now what's really going on around me. And you should too, Christian church. But your pastors are not going to show you this because they're paid off by the government.
Read this about homosexuality. Homosexuality.
Homosexuality.
Then we'll go back into the Bible and close in.
The Bible says, Leviticus 18:22, thou shalt not lie with mankind.
Thou shalt do what?
Thou shalt lie with mankind.
Thou shalt do it when you want to.
Christians love me. God loves
what?
me. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination.
Now, before my dad reads this stuff about which goes on in the so-called Holy Land, I want you to look at
Use 2 hands. You're gonna rip. We do it.
See the star of Rimfram?
Look at that, the star of Rimfram on their flag.
And the gay pride flag too.
Okay, so you're telling us now that they're holy, that they're the chosen people
Of Satan, yeah.
of Jacob.
Because that's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're chosen people of Satan, not of the Most High in the Bible.
So again, if you research that 6-pointed hexagram, you'll find out that's a symbol for Satan. So the truth about the 6-pointed star.
Okay.
Read.
Yeah, we're just going to finish it. We're on a wild break.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? Up here. The Rainbow Gay Pride flag flies strong in Israel with
In
the
where?
regular Israelite blue and white flag. This is the Holy Land. The prophet Jeremiah did not prophesy this happening when Jacob returned to Israel. That's right.
Read.
Israel holds gay parades in Tel Aviv, Israel, every year, uncontested for well over the last 10 years. Uncontested. So what started in 1998 with a couple hundred of gay parties has turned into an event with over 100,000 Jews celebrating in the streets of the Holy Land in gay fun. Just as in America, where homosexuality is almost everywhere. In Israel, on Gay Pride Day, one can see 2 women kissing, 2 men lying together on the bench holding hands. The Holy Land of Israel has also been infiltrated with abominations that the Most High commanded mankind not to do. Why would Ahayah promise to bring back his people from the 12 tribes of Israel in 1948 only to allow them to practice immoral sexual abominations in the Holy Land? Israel is now marketing itself internationally as a welcoming to the gay community. Participants in the annual gay pride parade in Jerusalem are shown in magazines and blogs on July 29, 2010 with the headlines, "The sun is setting, gay pride flags wave next to the water, same-sex couples kiss and cuddle on the beach."
Wow.
This is Tel Aviv.
In Israel, the so-called Holy
Did you
Land.
hear that, man?
Now, I just want to read one more thing, a couple more things, and I'll read something, and I'll let my dad read something. Then we'll finish in the Bible. This is what Bible study is. You're supposed to learn something.
That's right.
Even though you may not like to
Tell them,
hear
Josh,
the
you won't
truth.
learn this in church. You're not going to learn this in church.
This is a ritual. Now, listen to how this ritual, this is something rabbis do. Now, listen to how sick this is. This is called the Berzi Met Zi Taza. The Metaza Ba Para is a direct oral blood-sucking ritual performed by rabbis after circumcision on a boy's infant's penis.
Yeah, tell them. Read it, Josh.
I'll read that again. This is a ritual. The Metaza Ba Para is a direct oral blood-sucking ritual performed by rabbis after circumcision of a boy's penis. After circumcision, the rabbi has to draw blood from the penis by sucking on it. This practice is not recommended by the American Medical Association, but is carried out in Talmudic Judaism for some
I hope you're listening
strange, odd reason. The rabbi puts a freshly cut, circumcised penis of the infant boy Jewish, into his mouth and sucks it, or performs oral sex on a baby boy.
A little boy. These are the same Jews that have put all your filthy laws in your high schools and junior high and kindergartens.
This is penis, and sucks it until the blood stops flowing out of the wound of the child's penis. This is not a tradition in the Old Testament Torah or but is a satanic tradition of man, according to. Now listen to what happens. Jewish population in the U.S. that undergo this benzene homosexual unsanitary, the particular, however, is under secure, as some babies have contracted genital herpes, of course, from the mouths of the rabbis,
those kind of
which
herpes,
obviously have oral herpes.
There's no cure. They'll go away and they'll come back. They'll have to take medicine the rest of their life. Let me read.
Yeah.
Where do you want to read, Josh? Okay.
Then we'll finish in the Bible.
Jews admit the truth themselves.
They do. So now we're going to hear some more truth from Jewish people.
Ashkenazi, is that what you say?
Ashkenazi.
Okay, Ashkenazi Jewish rabbi Mark Lee.
Jewish who?
Mark Lee.
No, Jewish rabbi, right?
Jewish rabbi.
So this isn't some regular Jewish. This is a Jewish a person who has intimate knowledge of Jewish history. Now let's see what this Jewish rabbi has to say about their history.
Lee Raphael. Jews also took an active part in the Dutch.
Wait, they did what? They took an active part
in the Dutch colony slave trade.
So they took part in the transatlantic slave trade. But what role were they? Read.
Indeed.
This is from the mouth of a Jewish rabbi, so he's not lying about what they did.
The bylaws of the Receipt and Marikia congregations, 1648, included an imposter Jewish tax of 5.
So they were taxing auctions that sold slaves.
For each Negro slave, a Brazilian Jew purchased from the West Indies Company. Slave auctions.
So the Dutch West Indies Company was owned by Jewish people.
Slave auctions were postponed if they fell on a Jewish holiday.
So one of their satanic holidays, which have nothing to do with the Bible.
In Morocco in the 17th century, as well as in the British colonies of Barbados and Jamaica in the 18th century. Jewish merchants played a major role.
Jewish merchants or money changers did what?
Played a major role in the slave trade.
In the what?
Slave trade.
No, they had nothing to do with it.
Slave trade. In fact, in all the American colonies, whether French, Martinique, British, or Dutch, Jewish merchants frequently dominated this.
Frequently
dominated.
Did what?
They dominated.
So they ruled the slave. They profited the most off of the so-called the black suffering and the Latino suffering, and they profited the most off of your slavery, and still do. This
was no less true on the North American mainland,
where
during the 18th century, Jews participated in the triangular trade. What is that called?
The transatlantic.
That brought slaves from Africa to the West Indies and there exchanged them for molasses, which in turn was taken to New England and converted into rum for sale in Africa. Isaac D. Costa of Charleston in the 1750s, David Franks of Philadelphia.
Now, hold on. Hold that. Just to make sure we're not making this stuff up, let me show you what we're reading off of. See the top of that, chapter 4? These people don't hide what they did to you. So
no, they don't hide it. Yet you can't do nothing about it.
Yet you are expected to uphold them as the children of Israel in the Bible, and they're admitting that they sold you as slaves.
What we can do about it, brothers and sisters, who are the tribes, is to wake up and find out who you are. That's the only way you're going to come into understanding. You ain't never going to come into understanding. You stay in Christian church. Okay. David Franks of Philadelphia in the 1760s, and Aaron Lopez of Newport in the late 1760s and early 1770s dominated Jewish slave trading on the American continent. Jews and Judaism in the United States, a documentary history. New York, Berman House Incorporated, published 1983. Raphael is the author of American Jewish History. Listen to this.
This man
You can
is
find
the
out
author.
by looking this up.
This is a source. This man is a historian of Jewish history in America. So this man is not a liar. He's not making this up.
The Journal of the American Jewish Historical Society at Barbados University in Massachusetts. Or Brandeis. Brandeis. Okay.
University in Massachusetts.
Right.
Read.
Cecil Roth, the Jews of the Jordan Savain surname were also foremost in the suppression of the successive Negro revolts from 1690 to 1722. These, as a matter of fact, were largely directed against them as being the greatest slave holders of the region.
So Jewish people in that region owned the most of the plantations. So they weren't only selling and profiting off of the slave auctions. They were owning the plantations that slaves worked on. And if you research it, it's probably going to come up that, see, they want to, and this is how the Jewish people play everybody against each other.
Mm-hmm.
They display in the slave movies white Christians, right? When these people probably in reality were poor and didn't have no money. The people that had the money were the Jewish people that had the money in the colonies. So they were the ones running the plantations, not the white Jew, the white Christian goyim. The majority of, I would say, the majority of every slave plantation in the South was owned by Jewish, Talmudic practicing Babylonian, Khazarian converts to Judaism. And you can look it up and probably will come up that.
That's right.
Read.
History of the Maroons.
The Maroons were in, read.
Philadelphia, Jewish Publication Society of America, 1932.
So this is a
Page 292.
a Jewish period history that they wrote down.
Like Josh said, if you don't believe what we're reading, I'm giving you
These
the
are
pages and the
sources.
numbers. Yeah, sources, totally.
Research that.
Ira Rosenwake in Charleston, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, and Savannah, Georgia. The large majority, over 3/4 of the Jewish households, contained one or more slaves. In Baltimore, only one of the 3 households were slaveholding. In New York, 1 out of 18. Among the slaveholding households, the median number of slaves owned ranged from 5 in Savannah to 1 in New York. The Jewish population in 1820 in Abraham J. Cap, ed. The Jewish Experience in America. Selected studies from the publications of the American Jewish Historical Society, Waltham, Massachusetts, 1969, 3 volumes. Volume 2, pages 2, 17, and 19.
So all these are sources of what these people are saying. So these are sourced by the person that wrote the book, so you can back check these things.
I want to say something, Josh. You know what gets me? You know what irks me? You know what really gets me annoyed? When I meet our people and they tell us it doesn't matter. You know how sad that is? That means they'll never climb out of losing their identity. They'll never make it.
And I'll just read one more thing. This is Jacob Rader Marcus. Although in the 18th century, in the early 19th century, Jews in the North and South were to own black servants in the South. Few plantation owned by Jews were tilled by slave labor. In 1820, over over 75% of all Jewish families in Charleston, Richmond, and Savannah owned slaves. Over 75%. So they made up the aristocracy who owned the slave plantations. Jewish people.
Oh, I like the Jewish people. You keep liking them.
Slaves employed as domestic servants, almost 40%. Of all Jewish households in the United States owned one or more slaves. There are no protests amongst slavery as such by Jews in the South, where they were allowed Rabbi, now here's another rabbi, and this is the last point I'll read. Rabbi Burton W. Cohen.
Right.
It would seem to be realistic to conclude that any Jew who could afford to own slaves had the need for their services would do so. Jews participated in every aspect of the process of the expansion of the defenseless black. So they had their hand in everything to do with the slave trade, from the ships to the ports to the auction blocks.
They paid for all the ships.
To the plantations.
And they even called the first ship
The good ship Jesus.
Good ship Jesus, or baby Jesus.
Jews and Negro slavery in the Old South by Abraham J. Krepp. Jewish experience in America, selected studies from the publications of American Jewish Historical Society, Walton, Massachusetts. So again, that's the source. So these are all sourced, documented facts. These people owned, now go to Psalm 64. No, go to Psalms 10. Psalms 109. No, wait. No. Psalms 10.
It's all right. Psalms 10.
We'll read
All right, Psalms 10.
the first 11 verses.
All right, let's see
And
what
we'll close in the Old Testament tonight.
Psalms 10, Josh.
Again, get these books. You must add these to your library of studies. Right? Get these
I would,
books.
yes.
Add these to your biblical study resources.
Please, because you have to know these things. You have to know your history, your real history.
You have to know how your country truly operates.
That's right, Josh. Very
Read.
good. All right, 10, Josh.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Why standest thou afar off, O Most High? Why hidest thou thyself in time of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
So let these evil people at the top be destroyed by the same things
And they're going to be.
that they imagine to do to the children of Israel. Read.
Your day is coming, folks. Okay? For the wicked boasteth of his heart's
the elite,
desire.
the rulers of this world, the elite, boast of their heart's desire.
And blessed the covetous, whom the Most High honoreth.
They bless the same people that have the same wicked desires as themselves. They give them money, houses, lands, millions of dollars to be their puppet.
Wow.
Read.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High.
These elite have no desire to seek the Most High.
Thy power is not in all his thoughts.
So the Rothschilds don't think of your government. Don't think of the Most High.
That's right.
The
They'll mention God to you. It's the God of this earth.
Read.
His ways are always grievous.
So these people's ways are grievous. Read.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
So he remarks every righteous thing that the Bible tells him how to run the system out of his sight. He
That's
doesn't
right.
want to listen.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
He seeks to destroy the children of Israel.
That's
his
right.
enemy,
Come on.
Esau.
He has said in his mind or heart, I shall not be moved,
Mhm.
for I shall never be in adversity.
Read.
Wow. His mouth is full of cursing
His mouth is full of cursing against his brother Jacob,
and
Israel,
deceit and fraud
and deceit and lies and fraud or stealing.
are under his tongue.
So what has he done with his tongue? He's claimed that he's the children of Israel.
Under his tongue is mischief and
Yeah.
vanity.
Mischief
And vanity.
or mischievousness
That's
and
right.
and emptiness.
Right.
So everything that he claims as a child to be the children of Israel is a lie.
He sitteth.
They are the synagogue of Satan according to the Bible.
That's right. Come on. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
So he kidnaps children, and he sacrifices them in secret.
Wow.
Read.
Okay, hold on. His eyes are privately set against the poor.
Focused on the destruction of the children of Israel.
Come on. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. Read. He hath said in his heart, his mind, Ahayah hath forgotten.
He has what?
He's forgotten all this.
Oh, it's in the past.
Come on,
It's
brother.
weird how they say that's in
Yeah.
the past, but they tell you to remember 9/11.
Yeah.
Remember Martin Luther King Day. Remember 4th of July.
Awesome.
So when it's convenient to them, they tell you to remember.
Oh.
But when it's not convenient to them, they tell you to forget.
He has said in his heart, Ahayah hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. Wow. Read. All right.
Go to we're gonna finish in the Old Testament right now. I'm just getting the precepts here.
Where do you want to go in the old?
Go to Zechariah 11.
Oh, Zechariah.
Zechariah 11 and 4. Zechariah 11:4.
11:4. Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 4. Okay, you ready? Come on.
No, read.
The foolish shepherds, thus saith the Most High, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter,
Which have been slaughtered by slavery and are continually oppressed in this earth today. Read.
whose possessors slay them.
Whose what?
Possessors,
The ones who own them
they
use
slay them
their system to oppress and kill them. Read.
and hold themselves not guilty.
So they say we're not
God forgot.
we're not guilty for your blood. It's your fault.
And they that sell them,
They that what?
sell them,
That what?
sell them,
So they sell you on to the NFL.
say,
Read.
come on, get
All these different auctions.
yeah, that's slave trade. That's slave trade.
Read. That's
Blessed be the Most High, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them
them
not.
not. So go to Psalms 83.
Psalms 83. Psalms 83.
Psalms 83,
Yeah. You all right?
verse 1.
Come here. Put the frog sign on there if you got bites. All right? Let me see. You got mosquito bites? Let me see. Yeah, just put peroxide on it, Josh. I got it in the side. Just take a reading. All right, ready? Hold on. All right, Psalms 83. Keep not thy silence, O Most High.
Uh-huh.
Hold not thy peace.
Uh-huh.
And be not still, O Most High.
Uh-huh.
For lo, thine enemies make a trouble.
They do what?
They make a noise.
Uh-huh.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Uh-huh.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty or hidden counsels.
Come on, the elite against the Jews, against the Israelites.
Against the children of
Israel,
the
against
true children of Israel,
against,
the blacks and Hispanics.
Right, against thy people.
Against
That's
thy
it,
people.
That's them. And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Uh-huh.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And
So let's enslave them and keep using them so we can hide their identity from them.
That's what they've done.
Uh-huh.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have come together with one mind.
They have confederate against
confederate against the black man.
The tabernacles of Edom.
That's your Rothschilds, your DuPonts, your Bushes, all the elite white.
Come on.
The white bloodline.
If you listen tonight, then you heard this.
Uh-huh.
If you're listening, they are confederate against the, okay, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites.
That's your elite Arabs.
Right. Of Moab.
That's Africans.
And the Hagarenes.
Hagarenes are Africans.
Gibal.
Hamitic peoples. Read.
And Ammon.
Read.
And Amalek.
Amalek is the Jewish man.
Amalek, right. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Uh-huh.
Assyria also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot.
Psalm 64 and 2.
Wow.
We'll finish in Psalm 64 tonight.
Wow.
Has this been a good Bible study, everybody?
Yeah. You see, this is learning. See, this is learning.
You can't
I never learned
this
like
type of learning.
Never.
Because you get history and then you get the Bible.
Awesome.
And they join together and they
sure
say the same.
Yeah, because see, without history, folks, you won't
True
know who
history,
you are.
again.
True history. You'll never know who you are.
Get these books.
The next time we go on, we're going to get all our African books. We're going to get all these books to show you.
Enoch.
You have to have these books.
And get Hebrews to Negroes.
You know what a church, wait, hold on. You know what a church tell you? Oh, don't listen to them, just have the 66. Because it's been so much changed and hidden. Not just changed, this 66 books is awesome. There's nothing wrong with it really, but in reality, you these scriptures in here. You know what scriptures they're going to give you. Even the Christian church is telling you that the Old Testament's done away with. This church is telling you that today. They don't want to know who you are. They don't want you to know who you are and where your real roots are.
Uh-huh.
All right, ready? 60 what?
64 at verse 2.
64 verse 2. Ready? Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked,
Uh-huh.
from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword.
So they use their tongue as a sword to cut down
Words,
the children of
right.
Israel.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows,
Uh-huh.
even bitter words,
Read.
that they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Uh-huh.
Suddenly do they shoot at him
Suddenly do they shoot at him
and fear not.
because they've done so good of covering themselves, and they've even deceived you to think that the true bad guys are the good guys.
Wow. They encourage themselves in an evil manner.
They do what?
They encourage themselves in an evil manner.
So they go about encouraging themselves to do more wickedness.
They commune of having, they commune of laying snares privately.
Uh-huh.
They say, who shall see them?
So we've spent billions of trillions of dollars with false education, false
on hiding the truth. That's right.
False,
because they have the money to do
false, all this. And so we don't expect nobody to find this out.
Wow.
Read.
Wow. They search out iniquities.
They do what?
They search out iniquities.
They search out ways to make you feel justified in breaking the law. Like you can eat whatever you want. They put Red Lobster, all these food, these outright restaurants that sell unclean food.
Wow, watch out. They accomplish a diligent search.
So with all their money, they find the exact things to ensnare you with.
Both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
One more thing, Dad. No. Yeah, close your Bible.
It's okay. It's all right. I really don't mind. How long are we on? Oh, a while.
And
I want to say something. Wait. I want to say this again. So if you don't get discouraged, I know we're on a long time, but if you can't listen to the whole program, don't just forget about it, because you'll miss the important parts in the middle and at the end. So listen halfway and then come back and listen to the other half.
Willie Lynch. Listen to what this slave owner wrote in a letter to the plantation owners, a Jewish man.
Willie Lynch letter.
Uh-huh.
With all that is going on, our experts warn us about the possibility of this phenomenon occurring.
Uh-huh.
For they say that the mind has a strong drive to correct and recorrect itself over a period of time, if it can touch some substantial original historical base.
So we understand that these slaves, their minds, if we allow them to have any form of truth, their minds will and I'll use this idea to buttress this what this is saying. When you have a slave, if you want that slave to be subservient to you and be your slave, you're not going to teach that slave that he's greater than you, that he's superior to you, that God looks like him, the slave. You're going to teach him that God looks like the oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
No matter how wicked he is to you, you will somehow justify it. You'll justify his religion, his way of life, his food he gives you. You'll justify pretty much anything you do because you believe that your oppressor is your God. When in fact, the oppressed, the image, the God of the Bible looks like the oppressed. The God is a black man. Christ is a black man. Read Revelations chapter 1, 14, 15, Daniel 7, verse 6, Daniel 10, 5 and 6, to get the biblical description of Christ and the Most High. So I'm not going to serve somebody if I know I'm greater than that person. So they have to strip me of any self-knowledge of my greatness. And they have to make themselves seem like they're the chosen.
That's right.
Of God.
Awesome, Josh.
Read.
Okay.
So we must read
and
that.
They advise us that the best way to deal with this phenomenon is to shave off the brute's mental history.
So shave off or take away the Israelites' history from them in slavery, because the mind has a strong ability to correct and recorrect itself if it can touch some original historical basis. In other words, if somehow that slave can start to learn the truth about who he is,
mm-hmm.
what he is, and what his purpose is in this world, then the illusions that we're going to give that person will start to fall off, because he'll understand his oppressor gave him that. His slave master taught him that, to believe and think that way of himself. Read.
Okay. The mental history of and create a multiplicity of phenomenon of illusions.
That's your Christianity, which is an illusion, right?
Yeah.
Again, right here. That's what we just read.
Keep it still. Bring it up. Well, He showed you twice. You need to get these books. Come on, folks. You guys have been listening to us for a long time, right? Your brothers, sisters, whoever's listening. You know, you probably waste a lot of money during the month. How much are these books? $33, $32 a book. Look how big they are. Show them how thick it is, Josh. Show them sideways. No, the other way. Yeah, right. Look how thick that book is. And you wouldn't believe
The information.
in these books.
That's why during slavery, you weren't taught to read. Because if they taught a slave to read, they would never depend on the oppressor to teach them anything.
That's right. And when they taught them the Bible, they taught them all
with white pictures.
Okay.
So
we hope that
was a good Bible study.
That you got something out of this tonight.
The synagogue of Satan exposed.
That was good, Josh. It was really good, and I learned some important stuff tonight.
May the Most High Ahayah, bahashem, Yashayah be with you, heal you, and restore Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.